All right, so we're going to find the roots for this polynomial, and I would just probably recognizing it's not going to factor. I mean, you could try, but it won't actually factor. We're going to have to use the quadratic formula here. So negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Again, recognizing where a is in our quadratic and where it's going to go in our formula, where b is in our quadratic, where it will go in our formula, and where c is and where it will go. So we've got x equals, all right, so negative b, so negative, whoops, use the right number here, negative 12, we'll fix that in a second, plus or minus the square root of, and then we've got b squared, so negative 12 squared, and then we'll have minus 4 times a, which is 9, times c, which is 8, and then that's all divided by 2 times a, which we said is 9. And then it's just a matter of simplifying. So we'll have x equals, now, negative 12, that's positive 12, plus or minus, and you can probably do this part in steps here, 144 minus, so you have to do 36 times 8, which will give you 288 all over 18. Okay, let's take this one step further. We'll have 12 plus or minus, so 144 minus 288 is negative 144 all over 18. And then we've got to simplify that negative 144 as a square root. So I'm going to say 12 plus or minus, I'm going to write it as negative 1 times the square root of 144. And for me, I do that because then this piece I recognize as being just I. So what I really have is, let me go down to the next line here, 12 plus or minus I, but then I know that the square root of 144 is 12 over 18. Now this is pretty good, but it didn't match any of the choices because you still had to reduce. All three of these numbers, you can do 12 over 18 and simplify that. Divide everything by 6 if you want to think about it that way. But what you're going to get is 2 plus or minus 2i all over 3. Now, if you wanted to try to use the sum and products for this, it's a little bit trickier because we have a coefficient that is not 1 for x squared. So you'd actually have to divide everything by 9 first and then try to find the sum and products that way. It's a little bit trickier. I wouldn't recommend it unless your coefficient is 1 in front of your x squared term. So for now, if you see something other than 1, I would just go ahead and just start with the quadratic formula if it can't be factored.